Hi, everybody. I am Jenny Spinner, Chief Editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I am here with,
Liz Parker, senior editor.
and we are here once again to talk about everybody's favorite topic, new product highlights, this time for the month of January. 2024 got off to a really fun start. So once again, we had a lot of products to choose from. And I, at least, not to speak for Liz, but I had a hard time picking just a few to talk about, but I managed. Liz came up with some good stuff too, and let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. Liz, why don't you start?
So our first product this month is the Mega Stuff Oreo O's and the Chips Ahoy cereals. So when I was growing up way back in the 1990s, I definitely
You're so
remembered Oreo
old.
O's. Yes, so far back, or I think one person said the late 1900s at one point. So we
Nice.
always had we always had Oreo O's on the shelf, and I think specifically the Mega Stuff ones. And if it wasn't the 90s, it was like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're bringing that back for today's consumers is interesting to me because you're probably going to get millennials buying it for the nostalgia, but you might get some new
Mhm.
customers as well.
Yeah, I'm older than you. I won't say how old, but it's a lot. And I have the same thing. When the original Oreo O's came out, I think I was still in school, if not Garanimals and short pants, as they say. But yeah, I'm a sucker for nostalgia myself. And I actually don't remember the Mega Stuff iteration of Oreos, but the people that do might reach for them for themselves, for their kids. And same thing with the Chips Ahoy. Who is not a sucker for sugary cereal? I sure am. So yeah, it's interesting that Post saw fit to bring these back. And let's see how long they last. They're limited time, right? I think you're
I
the one that
believe
says,
so. Yeah.
yeah. I hope it's not too limited because I need to get to the store and maybe grab myself a box. My first item is Mr. B. It's a regional chip brand. The flavor is biscuit and gravy. If you are a fan of the Southern breakfast dish, it's a biscuit with white sausage gravy on it. And it's something that I enjoy. There's a brunch place by me that tends to be my go-to dish. Uh, and the idea of putting that highly caloric uh breakfast item onto a chip intrigues me. The thing that got my attention was that the sale of these chips are benefiting the local chapter of Make-A-Wish. So um, if you're on the fence about indulging in a chip like that, I think the fact that your indulgence is benefiting a worthy charity, that might set you over as a consumer.
Our next product is actually a candy and snack mashup. So I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but Shipley Dough Nuts, is that how they say it, or Do Nuts? Something like that. It's a chain, it's a regional chain. I looked it up today. It's mostly in the South, but they do have
Mhm.
one location in Maryland, if you're lucky enough to live in Maryland. So they're releasing a donut with freeze-dried Skittles, which was really interesting to me because I first encountered freeze-dried candy like a year or two ago at ECRM, and it's just been everywhere since then. So I think that collaboration, I don't know if it's officially Skittles or just like a Skittles knockoff, but that collaboration could be really interesting.
Yeah, it's I'm a donut girl. I think I've said in past things. I am especially a fan of chains and regional brands that put fun stuff on it. I'm in the far north neighborhood of Rogers Park, and just over the border in Evanston, there's a place that puts Captain Crunch cereal on top of their donut. But the texture of regular Skittles, I think, would be a little bit off, but the freeze drying, the thing that it does to the texture of Skittles, among other candies, might make it a really fun combination with the cakey give of the donut with the crispy, crunchy, still a little chewy Skittle texture. Might entice consumers to stop in the shop and try the seemingly wacky fun combo. Um, The next one is this lady keeps popping up on our favorite lists. Dolly Parton has partnered up with for more than a year. I think we're on two now, maybe even a little bit more. Duncan Hines, a Conagra brand, partnered with her on some Dolly Parton branded bake mixes. And that partnership has done so well that they keep expanding. And now, in addition to more bake mixes, we're going to start seeing some frozen food. So Dolly is making it a point to invade every aisle of the store. Walmart, she has her own line of party goods. She has her own line of pet apparel. You can dress your dog up in a Dolly Parton dress and wig. So it's really interesting to see how she's invading and how Conagra is helping her lead this invasion into a lot of categories that snack food and wholesale bakery covers. And let's see if other companies try to capture the magic by, well, I don't know, partnering with her goddaughter Miley Cyrus or something. Who knows? But yeah, Liz, what did you think about this one?
Well, first off, that's a fun fact. I did not know Miley Cyrus was her goddaughter, so that's interesting. Second of all, I think that's smart of her because she's kind of diversifying. So she's got the bakery deal, baked goods, and then she's got frozen food and things like that. And I think she's so much of a household name that people would definitely say, "Oh, look, like this looks interesting."
Yeah, it's hard to find people that don't like her. And if you're one of the people like me that's a fan of like everything she does, there's a really good podcast called Dolly Parton's America where you can find out more about her history and her relationship with her fans and how she reacts to when people challenge her on stuff. It's really kind of interesting. Oh, it's your turn. Sorry, I keep going on about Dolly.
That's fine. So our next product is You Need This. That's the brand name. Hot cheddar fries. So spicy snacks are not new, but they have been really popular the past couple of years. You Need This is debuting it in like a fry form, which
Mhm.
again, as you pointed out, not like super new, but they're also gluten free, which is nice if you're looking for like a crunchy snack without the gluten.
Yeah, the fry format is interesting because the way that fries are cut, it really impacts the texture, the mouthfeel, the way that you eat this snack. And I remember as a kid, um, staple of vending machines were a brand called Andy Capp's hot fries. Shoestringy potato things that I believe Conagra owns this brand now, but um it's an old, not very funny, no offense, Andy Cap, cartoon character that I think at this point, several decades after the cartoon debuted, the snack is probably better known than the actual guy, but you need this taking up this format. It'll be interesting to see how the better for you version of the tasty snack is received. So interesting. Thank you for bringing that to us. You need this. Um, my next pick is W.K. Kellogg, the artist formerly known as Kellogg's, has launched an Eat Your Mouth Off cereal. And this is interesting for a couple of things. One, um, it's a new launch under the WK Kellogg name, new cereal launch. If you look at the box, the branding is a little bit different. It is they're definitely aiming at younger people. It's very popping, bold graphics. And also this is plant-based. There are no milk-based ingredients like there are in common ready-to-eat cereals. So the plant-based has created a bit of a price premium. You know, prices are going up everywhere because of inflation, but this is a little bit higher, as you tend to see in some of the better for you cereals released by the big guys and startups like Off Limits. So I would really like to see how this performs because it's a little bit different. It's off the beaten path. New launch for WK Kellogg in the cereal aisle. So it's got a lot of things that make this one to watch.
They sent me samples of it, and the I haven't tried them yet in terms of flavor, but the like you said, the graphics and the branding is really interesting. It definitely makes it like pop. So I'd be curious to see like if it does well and also what its core audience would be,
Hmm.
like millennials or maybe Gen Z or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, in a more indulgent offering, Insomnia returned its cookie nachos to its stores. And when they pitched me on that, I'm like, what are cookie nachos? And it said featuring our Fancy Sprinkles Unicorn Barf blend, which I immediately texted to someone. I was like, look, unicorn barf. Um, and they sent me a sample. They're very generous with the samples, and it was like 5 or 6 maybe cookies covered in sprinkles and like chocolate
Mhm.
sauce. Almost reminded me of the movie Elf where he makes like the spaghetti meal and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But but it was actually very good, like a little too good. I had to ration it a little bit. So, and it's interesting, it's a returning item, so I think people wanted it back, which is why they brought it back.
Yeah, when you were a cookie brand, coming up with things that create your menu and make it more than a one note thing can be challenging, I would imagine. Like, do you different size, different flavors? What can you do besides cookies? What can you do with cookies? Insomnia came up with this, and just looking at the pictures when Liz shared this on our website, www.snackandbakery.com, I could feel my blood sugar going up because you're right, it is indulgent. I'm worried for the health of people that buy this and try to eat it by themselves because it is definitely it's a giant pile of sugary goodness. And I think the name is definitely aiming at people younger than me too. And Insomnia Cookies, it's kind of gone beyond being a college campus concept. People that want sugar at 2 in the morning can get it through them. And now it's hitting, families and people like this. So unicorn barf, people my age might be, ew, the word barf in a food product is a no-no, but people Liz's age and even younger now might be more willing to spend their money on something that sounds like that much fun weirdness going on. So yeah, limited time. Let's see how limited it is. If it performs really well, they could keep it going with the unicorn barf nacho thing.
Yep. And I think it could be a fun thing to bring to a party.
Yeah,
You
Super
would probably
Bowl.
need a few of them, but if you were having a small party, I want to say there was like 8 cookies, 6 or 8. So
Yeah,
I kind of rationed them, so I didn't go like get like a sugar high on day one.
yeah.
But they were very good. So should be interesting.
Yeah. My next one is another mashup between a couple of Frito-Lay brands. PepsiCo has done a couple of these, and in the meat snack space, they've come up with a couple of meat sticks now that combine Fritos, Doritos flavors. One is the one that I think that intrigued me was Fritos chili cheese chips. They're corn chips, if you're not familiar, although it's Frito-Lay, so you probably should be. Chili cheese, and it's as much of the mouthfeel of the seasoning imparts upon the corn chip, that makes it taste like the recipe that if you're a Midwestern kid, your mom might have done the walking tacos with the chili and the cheese in them. Um, Now bringing that to a meat snack is interesting because how will the flavor duplicate? How will consumers respond to seeing an unfamiliar, unexpected branding on their meat snack packages? So yeah, I'm interested in watching this product from the PepsiCo brands to see how it performs. Judging by the fact that this is a repeat pretty soon, pretty hot on the tails of the Doritos sweet chili um Jack Link's meat jerky. It'll be interesting to see how consumers respond to it. But if it's anything like the first one, they will probably respond well.
I remember the Doritos mashup as well. The walking taco thing I think is definitely Midwest because when I moved
Yeah.
here, everyone's like, "Have you had this?" And I'm like, "No, what is that?" But yeah, it should be interesting to see how consumers respond to the mashup.
Mhm.
Our next product is again an indulgent one. So Smart Food popcorn. Um, they came out with a chocolate glazed donut flavor, and I feel like they've kind of been on like a sweet flavor kick as of
Mhm.
late because they sent me some samples of their hot cocoa popcorn, and I brought it to
Mhm.
Christmas, and it was a big hit. Everyone's
Mhm.
like, "Ooh, like sweet popcorn." So it's kind of interesting how they've got different like flavor mashups going on.
Yeah, Smart Food actually, the nice people at Smart Food sent me samples of this, which I have not tried. I might, I've done this before. I've used my friends as kind of like small concentrated consumer research. So I'll haul out a product that I've either tried before and want to see how other people like, or that I haven't tried to gauge everybody's response. And Smart Food, when it first came out, was sort of viewed as a diet food, a better for you food. And it's interesting that they've, like you said, they've expanded into some sweet flavors. We all know kettle corn, the combination of sweet and salty, and this is taking it to another level with a flavor that sounds indulgent, but the nutrition facts don't necessarily profile as an incredibly indulgent, super sugary thing. It's a little bit lighter on those things. So the balance of health and indulgent that everybody's trying to reach, this might have hit it. So thank you, Smart Food. The next one that I have is Purely Elizabeth. They're a granola brand, and they are perceived in the better for you space. And granola, when I was a kid, it tended to be well, first off, it started off in like small co-ops, but then other companies got into it, and it was perceived as better for you, but the nutrition facts, which we didn't have the label back then, but if the fat content, the sugar content was really super high. And then we came up with granola that profiled a little bit actually better for you with lower sugar, higher fiber, other things. And Purely Elizabeth is playing with that by coming up with a granola that is, we're just going to come out and say, we're cookies. We have flavors that are, some of the cookies that you grew up enjoying. And it can be a snack, it can be a breakfast item. And it's definitely indulgent with the cookie, but again, it's got some better for you benefits. So yeah, I'm interested to watch how people respond to this one again.
That should be interesting for them. We've covered Purely Elizabeth a few times, definitely caught my attention because that's also my name.
Mhm.
Um, and they mostly, I think, have been advertising like better for you granola type stuff. So
Mhm.
this is kind of an interesting like mashup of those two.
Indeed, indeed. Um, and we tend to have overlaps, at least a couple, when we do these monthly new product highlights. On this one, we just had one, but I'm gonna let Liz start off because have you had these yet?
I am not, and I kind of joke that like Oreo keeps like scientists locked away in a room or something because
Yeah.
I feel like every month we get emails like, "Oh, there's a new Oreo flavor out this month." So I'm like, "How are they churning these so fast?" But these are the Oreo Space Dunk cookies. The
Mhm.
packaging is very vibrant, super fun colors. There's popping candy in the cream, I believe, and then to top that off, they had a contest where consumers could enter and even win a trip to space, I believe.
Yeah, you go into low orbit space, but um to get editorial for a second, I think if somebody gave me the choice between going into low orbit space for a once in a lifetime travel experience or getting a package of these cookies, I might pick the latter because one, I'm an Oreo fan from way back. And two, this is just a super pure fun product. It's got pink and blue cream layered together. It's marshmallow, so the flavor is a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a give, softer mouthfeel. There's windows cut out on the front of the cookie, which has different fun space shapes, spaceman, a rocket, a star. Um, the popping candy, which I was not sure about when I read about it because I'm a Pop Rocks fan. But putting it in other things just seems weird. But it turns out it is weird, but in a really fun way when you eat it. So um it's kind of like a 3D, 4D eating experience with the flavor, the colors, the feel, and then the special effects going off in your mouth, which um it turns out based on the response of my friends when I posted about it on Facebook when we first shared the news of it. Not too sure about it, but I think it's an adventure. And yeah, it hit the shelves yesterday. I actually I don't buy snacks a lot. I don't buy candy a lot because I get so much free stuff sent by our generous producers that we cover. This I bought for my Super Bowl party because I think the game this year, I don't care who wins, but I want to at least have some good fun snacks. So I'm going to be treating my party guests to exploding candy Oreos.
I'll have to be on the lookout for that. I'm a little bit of a recovering Oreo addict, so I don't buy the thing so much. No, like when I went to college, like I kind of existed on double stuff Oreos, so I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, I can't, but I love Oreos. So if I can get like a smaller quantity of it, they should make, I think they do make like single packs and like you know, on the go snacks. But in terms of popping, when I went to IFIC last year in Chicago, I think it
Mhm.
was, or the one party they had in Chicago, they had a champagne drink with like popping candy as well. So I think that's
Good.
trending too.
Yeah, yeah, it turns out there used to be a clear division in foods for um kids and foods for adults, and never the twain shall meet. And now you're seeing a little bit more fun in candies and snacks um and baked goods that are, youthful but aimed toward everybody. Oreos are for everybody. Oreos are for the children. So yeah, it's cool seeing the lines blurred between kids and adults, youthful, serious. Um, and Oreo is definitely playful. Uh, and this is just amping that fun up. So we are just about out of time. So I thought I would say, if you're a producer and you've got new products, please feel free to send to me, Spinner J at bnpmedia.com. I would love to see whatever you got. Snack, bakery, candy. Liz, would you like some emails about candy?
Sure. I cover our candy division for candy industry microsite of snack food and wholesale bakery. So you can email me at parkere@bnpmedia.com about that.
Yeah, and who knows, if you send us something, maybe we'll be talking about you for the highlights for the month of February. Something to look forward to. But until then, thank you for your time.